today between the president and the German Chancellor. Does the president view Germany as a reliable partner on this issue when it comes to troop movements or sending weapons to Ukraine or talking publicly about sanctions? They've been much less aggressive than other NATO allies.
Well, I'd also note that Germany is the second largest donor to Ukraine and Europe. The president has also noted, as we have noted, that different countries make different contributions. I think that the chancellor also did an interview with the Washington Post this morning where he spoke to that in more detail. We have a close, abiding, important relationship with the Germans. That includes having forces stationed in Germany, which has a huge strategic value to the United States. So today is an opportunity for the president to build on the relationship with the chancellor, to continue to build on the long and abiding relationship with the Germans, and we are united in our view of the actions, the potential actions of Russian leaders, and united in our efforts to hold them accountable.
What's your understanding about where the chancellor stands right now when it comes to including Nord Stream 2 in potential sanctions if Russia invades? They've really danced around that issue and haven't given a clear answer about whether they would in fact be willing to put that pipeline on hold.
Well, I know you all will have the opportunity, I'm sure, ask him this question himself, and I of course don't speak for him, but what I can reiterate here is that we said we would work with Germany to ensure that Nord Stream 2 does not move forward should Russia invade, and that remains the position, agreed position.
Emmanuel Macron's meeting with President Putin today, and Chancellor Scholz will be meeting with him in the coming weeks. So has President Biden asked either of them to deliver a message to Putin when they meet with him?
Well, I think it's important to remember that there are a range of different diplomatic talks happening at the same time through different formats. Some are leader to leader, some are through NATO, some are through the OSCE, and this is reflective of that, these conversations that are happening. As you know, the president spoke with President Macron yesterday, and of course that close discussion and coordination with a range of leaders is part of how we're approaching this. But this is multi-layered diplomacy at work here, so and we are also directly in touch with the Russians ourselves, so I wouldn't look at it through that prism.
Go ahead.
Thanks, Jen. You guys are said in the background call that part of the discussion with Germany today was about continuing to prepare this robust sanctions package, but we've been talking about sanctions for months. So if Germany is as aligned with its allies as you all are conveying, why isn't this sanctions package already complete? Why isn't that done already? Figuring out what it looks like.
Our internal sanctions package, or what sanctions package?
Because you've said consistently that the sanctions that you're preparing are in close consultation with allies, including Germany, and that conversation is, obviously happening again today, as we're getting warnings that Russia could, at any moment, take significant action. So the discussion about sanctions has been over the course of several months. Mm-hmm. Why isn't it done yet? If Germany is as on board with the rest of the NATO alliance as they're projecting to be? Sure.
Well, Jackie, as we've said before, one, I think there is alignment that we will work with Germany to ensure that Nord Stream 2 does not move forward, which is obviously a key point of discussion. I'd also note and reiterate that it's not operational at this time. There's no oil flowing through the pipeline. That has been a key point of discussion, and that is agreed to. I would also reiterate what we've said in here in the past is that we have our own sanctions package prepared, which we've been consulting with and briefing members of Congress on, and others do, and we're united in the effort to put forward an economic sanctions package that has significant consequences. As our European partners, it doesn't mean it's identical. So,
one point to clarify, you said that is agreed to on Nord Stream 2. Just want to clarify, are you saying that the Germans have committed not to bring Nord Stream 2 online if Russia invades?
Well, again, I'm not going to get into the private diplomatic conversations, but we have said a number of times that if they invade, it will not move forward.